Today's video is sponsored by Bet Slumber earplugs. Now, before we get into that, I want to mention what we're actually going to talk about today, and that is the brand new MOONDROP Golden Ages True Wireless Earbuds. And not only just true wireless earbuds, we're talking about planar magnetic noise canceling earbuds that are high-res wireless certified with LDAC playback. And on top of all of that, we're talking about a pair of earbuds you can get for $79. And if you're not familiar with MOONDROP, they have some incredible IEMs out there. They're usually very well priced, and they have some of the more popular models out there. Again, it's just a company that kind of came out of nowhere with their IEMs. They started to kind of dip their toes into the headphone over the ear market. They have some planar magnetic driver headphones, they have open back. So it's a company that really just needs to be taken seriously when it comes to audio. But before we get into all of the other things, let's go ahead and talk about today's sponsor. Now, Bet Slumber, these are earplugs that are made to basically reduce and cancel out noise and things around you or dull it out. What it's using is a cellular micro-perforated crystal filter. Now, there's different sizes of ear tips, just like as if you were to, have your own pair of earbuds. It even comes with a nice little carrying case. So it's really easy to keep in your pocket. The filter you would just put into whatever size ear tip that you need, pop them in your ears. They're very low profile, very subtle. And again, there's so many different situations that you can use these to dull out the sounds around you. And again, this is protecting your hearing, which is allowing you to listen and enjoy music and enjoy the things around you a lot longer. So if you're interested in checking these out, I will have a link to their Kickstarter page in the description. And again, I'd like to thank Bet Slumber for sponsoring today's video. Now, the Golden Ages earbuds that we're going to check out today are very unique, and they're unique because of their design, but they're also unique because a lot of the features they have, which we'll talk about. But the design of these resembles a Sony Walkman from the 80s. Now, these are technically called the Golden Ages 1979. So it's supposed to kind of resemble that era and that era of music. And I was born in the 80s, so I am very familiar with the Sony Walkman. It was a very popular product, and that is the design that these true wireless earbuds are trying to mimic. So if you look at it, it basically looks like a cassette player. On the stem, it has like the equalizer band. It's just a cool look. The problem here, though, is I don't know that everybody is going to want a very specific look like this. A lot of people just like to be subtle. They like things to just be black or white or blue or whatever, just a solid color and nothing going on, so like nothing to bring attention to them. So that is something that, may turn some people off. But if you can look past that, you're getting a pair that has 13mm planar magnetic drivers. Like I said, it is high-res wireless with LDAC playback. Then has Bluetooth 5.3, and it also supports low energy or LE audio, which is very impressive in this price range. And it's using a low power flagship chip. So there's a lot going on here. And it also works with the MOONDROP Link app, which you actually, I don't know that you can actually get on the Play Store or whatever. It does have the actual link to be able to get it. But this is what allows you to keep your earbuds updated. There are some EQ options in there. They have a monitor mode, a reference mode, and a bass head mode. They also have the gaming mode that you can switch it into, so this just kind of helps cut down lag when it comes to movies, videos, or gaming. And you can switch it between the different listening modes that it has. Now, this is where you would turn your noise canceling on, or you turn your noise canceling off, or you can listen to it in transparency mode. So there's really a lot going on here and a lot of different options to be able to kind of adjust your music. Now, the noise canceling, which I want to go ahead and talk about, I think it does, an okay job when it comes to blocking out engine noises and AC units and things like that. But if people are around you talking, or if there's a TV with that kind of noise, anything that has like the higher frequencies, this pair just doesn't really block a whole lot of that out. Now, when you switch it over into transparency mode, now you can start to hear a little bit of white noise from the mics picking up some of the surroundings around you, but it still comes in very clear. You can easily carry on a conversation or hear traffic without ever having to take your earbuds out. And luckily, you can do all of this from just switching it on the earbud. You don't have to go into the app to switch it between these different modes. So they do allow you to do that. It also allows you to play and pause and skip your tracks. And I didn't see anywhere for volume control, even though you can go in the app and switch around controls. So it is not giving you control over everything. If you do want to control volume, you do have to go to the device that you're listening to. Now, as far as an IP rating, I did not see anywhere where it has an official IP rating. So I don't know how well it blocks against rain or sweat or splashes and things like that. And I have seen companies not worry about getting an IP rating because it kind of saves on costs. Not having that, certified IP rating allows you to kind of cut costs on the product. And maybe that's what they're trying to do here, to be able to offer all of this and keep it in that $79 price range. Maybe they just said the hell with it. We don't need an IP rating. We'll just kind of let it go as it is. But in the box, it does come with a clear protective case, which actually adds to the look. It has a design on the outside of it that just kind of blends well with the design on the case. Obviously, this was intentional. It does give you a little loop so that you can actually put this on your key ring if you wanted to. But also in the box, you get 4 sets of silicone ear tips, and it does come with a USB-C cable to charge these. Now, you are going to have to use the USB-C cable. The case on these is not a Qi wireless charging case. But speaking of the charging, battery life is just okay, and it kind of falls in line with like the AirPods and the AirPod Pros. If you use these with the noise canceling off, you can get about 6 hours on the earbuds, with the case giving you about 24 hours total, with also blending that with the battery life of the earbuds. Now, if you use these with the noise canceling on, that is going to drop your battery life. Same thing if you're going to use these in LDAC or gaming mode, that will drop your battery life. So if you turn everything on, if you have the noise canceling on and gaming mode or LDAC or whatever, you're really not going to be able to get, much more than maybe 2, possibly 3 hours on the earbuds. Now, there is no fast charging, or at least, again, nothing that I've seen. And maybe it's because these are brand new and there's just not a whole lot of info on them. But it says it takes about an hour to an hour and a half to fully charge these. And if you're going to use these for taking phone calls, I do feel like the mics on here are pretty decent. I felt like, it picked up my voice extremely well. And if I'm in a noisy environment, I feel like it's doing a decent job of blocking all of that out as well. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is a mic test using the MOONDROP Golden Ages. I do feel like it kind of adds some artificial digital noise to my voice, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. Hopefully. So now let's talk about the sound. Now, like I said, these are using 13mm planar magnetic drivers, and planar drivers usually have a certain characteristic to their sound. But what I found with these is actually slightly different. I feel like there is just so much detail in these. There's a lot of focus on the highs and the mids. I do feel like the treble can get fairly bright, which I'm a huge fan of. I do like to have the details be brought out that way. And the same thing with the mids. You can tell they're bumping it up a little bit forward so that male or female vocalists or certain acoustic instruments stand out no matter what genre you're listening to. Now, when it comes to the bass, this is going to vary depending on which bass mode you have it on. I am a bass head, so this kind of makes sense. I actually listen to these most of the time with the bass head bass mode on. And what it does is it pulls out the sub bass a little bit more. It kind of gives you that slight, rumble as though like you have a subwoofer. But the bass on these are not overpowering. It is not overwhelming. It is not muddying up the sound. It's allowing you to feel that punch, even subtle punches. It really does have some nice impact, but it feels like it's being held back some on purpose. Again, it feels like it's trying to make sure the bass doesn't come in and destroy everything else, but still allowing you to feel the bass. So if I was going from like hip hop to metal to pop to whatever, the bass is fast, it's quick, it was able to keep up with the double bass of the drums. When it comes to hip hop, things that are pulling out lower frequencies, again, you can feel that rumble a little bit more. So I think these are really tuned very, very nicely. Now, if you want to switch it into like the monitor or the reference mode, it does kind of pull the bass back a little bit. So if you are looking for a more flatter sound signature, something that's a little bit closer to the status between pros, that is where it kind of matches up. If you pull it into that monitor or reference mode, it starts to get on that level. So I feel like there's some pretty good versatility with this pair. And when it comes to the sound stage and the sound imaging, these actually sound pretty wide open, and being able to tell where sounds are coming from, I never had any issue with. And this could be because the noise canceling isn't like overly strong, so it doesn't make you feel like you're isolated or closed in as much as some of the other noise canceling earbuds. So that's actually a huge plus. My overall opinion on these is if you're fine with the design and you're fine with not having like the best noise canceling and you don't have Qi wireless charging or smart sensors on the earbuds, you're getting one of the most detailed sounding pair of earbuds out there. And you are getting, decent noise canceling. You're getting that LDAC playback mixed with having those planar magnetic drivers, which already kind of separates these from a lot of the other consumer earbuds. So there's a lot to like here in a pair that's under $100. And I think the $79 is a really impressive price point on these. It definitely competes with anything under $100 when it comes to sound. And in my opinion, it starts to compete with the much more expensive ones because it has that focus on detail, where a lot of other earbuds start to kind of fall flat because bass starts to interrupt the rest of the sound signature. So overall, I was extremely impressed with the sound quality of these. But guys, that's my video on the brand new MOONDROP Golden Ages 1979 true wireless earbuds. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.